Hi, my name is Stazhia Pleasant, and I believe in the freedom to read. I have chosen The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison to read for you guys today, and it was banned for sexual content. So, they ran the houses of white people, and they knew it. When white men beat their men, they cleaned up the blood and went home to receive abuse from the victim. They beat their children with one hand and stole for them with the other. The hands to fell trees also cut umbilical cords, and the hands that wrung the necks of chickens and butchered hogs also nudged African violets into bloom. The arms that loaded sheaves, bales, and sacks rocked babies into sleep. They patted biscuits into flaky ovals of innocence and shrouded the dead. They plowed all day and came home to nestle like plums under the limbs of their men. The legs that straddled a mule's back were the same ones that straddled their men's hips, and the difference was all the difference there was. Then they were old, their bodies honed, their odor sour. Squatting in a cane field, stooping in a cotton field, kneeling by a riverbank, and they had carried a world on their heads. They had given over the lives of their own children and tendered their grandchildren. With relief they wrapped their heads in rags and their breasts in flannel, eased their feet into felt. They were through with lust and lactation, beyond tears and terror. They alone could walk the roads of Mississippi and the lanes of Georgia, the fields of Alabama, unmolested. They were old enough to be irritable when and where they choose, tired enough to look forward to death, and disinterested enough to accept the idea of pain while ignoring the presence of pain. They were, in fact, and at last, free. And the lives of these old black women were synthesized in their eyes, a puree of tragedy and humor, wickedness and serenity, truth and fantasy. They chattered far into the night. Charlie listened and grew sleepy. The lullaby of grief enveloped them and rocked him, and at last numbed him. In his sleep, the foul odor of an old woman's stools turned into the healthy smell of horse shit, and the voices of the three women were muted into the pleasant notes of a mouth organ. He was aware in his sleep of being curled up in a chair, his hands tucked between his thighs. In a dream, his penis changed into a long hickory stick, and the hands caressing it were the hands of M. Deer. That is actually really bad. I'm not